let's just jump right into this video. Let's talk about fear. You might feel like you're unmotivated, lazy, or just weak. And let me tell you, that's not the case. You're just letting fear hold you hostage. I was doing the same thing. There are about 3 things that I'm going to go over that's going to help you out tremendously. I truly believe it's going to be that little step closer to your next breakthrough because it was that for me. Now, we've all been put, okay, so right now I am at a parts warehouse. I was going to say a parts store, but a parts warehouse waiting to get some filters for my vehicle. So I think I got about 10 minutes to chill and hang out and vibe and talk because I really haven't done that in a while. And that's what I really love to do. I have a purpose of helping people. That's all I want to do is help people overcome whatever is holding them back. For me specifically, a lot of limiting self-beliefs, self-doubt, and just no confidence. That is what was holding me back for a lot of years. And I don't want that to happen to anyone else. I don't want to see that. And if I see that, I want to do something about that, right? So, starting off with number 1, the fear that was holding me back the most, the fear of failure. Oh my gosh. Even thinking about it, I wouldn't do it. If I had any percentage of failure in doing that activity, I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't even try. And right there, I was already losing a race I had never even started. Way back in 2016, if you're a new viewer, you probably haven't heard this story, but if you have seen a few of my videos, you've probably heard the story once or twice. Back in 2016, your boy was down bad. I wasn't feeling happy. I wasn't feeling confident. But really, I didn't have any confidence at the time. And life was hitting me pretty hard. Now, the good thing about having people around you is that a lot of the times they see something in you that you don't even see in yourself. At the time, I didn't have a lot of people around me because I was alone. I was trying to go through this life as a lone ranger. I was secluding myself from a lot of possibilities. Now, like I said, it's important to have people around you so they can pick you up out the mud when you're too deep. I was really deep. So who helped me out was my brother. And my brother loves to compete with me. He's about 8 years older than me. So it's like the things that he's good at, I didn't care about. The things that I'm good at, he doesn't care about. So we're like competing on doing stuff that neither of us care about anyways. But so it's really cool that he did that for me because he gave me a challenge when I needed a challenge, right? A lot of high achieving men feel stuck because they don't have anything they're going for. And a lot of the times we don't even know where we're at. So he helped me go for something, even though I didn't know where I was currently at. At that time, he pushed me into joining a group training facility, a group gym. Now, back when I was feeling like a loner, feeling by myself, I didn't want to be a part of any groups, nor did I want to work out with anyone around me. So when he brought this up, I already was like, hey, this ain't for me. My guy, this ain't for me. He was like, bro, it's for you. It's a very positive environment. It's super awesome. We lift each other up with empowerment and words of encouragement. And I was like, that doesn't even sound like me. That doesn't sound like me at all. So I went to the gym. Of course, I had that ego in me. I was very closed-minded and my mindset was trash. So I'm very blessed that I stepped foot in that gym that day because it was a very humbling experience. This gym, when I walked in, one, it was small. It looked kind of like this warehouse. When I walked into it, it was like bare bones. They were just doing some remodeling. That didn't sell me. And so a little bit, a little bit through the workout, I was like, man, that's a lot of reps. Like, it's a lot of reps. I'm not used to doing so many reps, so many different exercises. And it was like halfway through the workout, I was like, whew, they on this HIIT training. They're on that CrossFit style stuff. I'm not used to this. So more of the story, it completely killed me. I thought I was going to be able to roll with the boys, but at the end, that workout destroyed me. The same day I walked into that gym was the same day I threw up in that gym because it was pretty hard. Me being a man of competition, I was not going to let these guys know that that was going to be my last day. I wanted them to know that I was there to stay. So I showed up the next day, and showed up years after that. During that first, I would say 6 months, it was a huge growing phase for me because like I said, I'm not one uh, that was a part of a community like that before. I grew up with my mother, she was single, and I just grew up with my brother. He was 8 years older than me. So it always felt like I was going through life kind of by myself. So being a part of this gym, it actually changed my whole life. I have a tattoo on the back of my arm of this gym because of what it did for me. Like it completely changed my life. It's amazing. And so when I was going through the very first like 100 workouts or whatever, they saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. They saw the motivated leader that wanted to inspire, encourage, and empower everyone else around me. I didn't even see that in myself. I didn't even know what I was doing. I just didn't want to feel bad anymore, and I just didn't want anyone to feel like I was feeling. So they asked me, hey, do you want to use your skills at the next level? Do you want to become a trainer over here and help us help more people? I was like, no, that doesn't sound like a good idea. I don't want to stand up in front of people and talk. You know, I don't think I'm going to do a good job. How many times have you thought about that? How many times have you thought to yourself, I'm not going to do good. This position isn't for me. I don't know if I have the amount of confidence or competence to do said job. That's how I was. I had a lot of self doubt. I had a lot of limiting self beliefs. I just didn't think that I was enough. And so I said no. They brought it up again about 2 weeks later. Hey, you should really become a gym trainer. I was like, no, I'm okay. And then of course they asked the other trainers to ask me, trainers that were a little closer to me. I told them no. And then, but that's all they had to do. They only needed to plant the seed and water. And guess what? That seed grew because a lot of the times I would go home and I would think to myself, well, wait, do I have enough? Huh, can I be a trainer? Maybe. And it was at that point where a lot of my limiting self beliefs subsided. They didn't go away, but they definitely decreased. My my confidence didn't increase until I did the action, because it's that confidence cycle. Action, evidence equals more confidence. You have to do the action first if you ever want confidence. So that first day, I walk in front of, there's only about like 12 people at 5:15 a.m. in the morning, and I stood up there, and I'm not even lying. I thought I was gonna black out. I thought I was gonna pass out in front of all these people because I was so scared and so self-conscious of what I was doing. I literally thought I was gonna black out. I said what I had to say, and then kind of came to, and then went to the office because I was scared. And the trainer came back to me and she was like, dude, you did an awesome job. She gave me some really good corrective criticism and some really awesome feedback. So I had one choice, to stop or to grow. So I decided to keep on growing. And that opened the door to a lot more self-improvement, because when you're talking about self-development, you can have so many different doors opened that you didn't even know were there. So I started improving my skills of communication. I started improving my leadership, and I started improving my friendship. Just me being a friend got a lot better being in that position. And that was simply from me being scared to actually try, or to try something I'm not, or I thought I wasn't good at. So that fear of failure definitely decreased after I did that action of becoming a personal trainer. And I believe if there is an area in your life that you're feeling like you're showing up small when you need to show up big, just do the action. And you're still going to be scared. You're still going to have a lot of fear in you, but you got to do it anyways. Because once you do the action, you will get the results, and that will give you more confidence. And that was my story about my fear of failure. I have a bunch of stories about fear of failing, but I feel like that one really hits home because that one is like the biggest transformational time in my life. And it was awesome because it brings me right down to my next fear, which was my fear of success. Oh, the car parts are ready. Oh man, it's getting hot out here. All right, so the fear of success. Man, it hits us when we don't even understand what it's actually doing to us. The funny thing about the fear of success is a lot of self-sabotaging behaviors can happen due to that. I had a client that was so fearful of leveling up, he was downplaying his wins. So he would win and then say he did nothing. And I'm like, bro, that's a tremendous leap from where you were just at. Count that as a win. And he would downplay it and he would literally self sabotage, tell himself that it wasn't a win, and then he would go back to his old patterns. All because he was fearful of the next level. And I completely understand that because a few years ago, I would say about 3 years ago, I was working for Bonnie Plants, just a plant distributor. Awesome job. I would work 6 months on, 6 months off, and I would deliver vegetable plants to Home Depot, Walmart, Lowe's, Fred Meyer's, and some small mom and pop shops, but like Tractor Supplies, stuff like that. It was amazing. Job was amazing. I would work 6 months on, 6 months off. The only reason why I stopped that job is that's actually a long story. Going through my third year in that job, I actually got a promotion. I became manager instead of just a delivery driver, which was cool. It was a step up, but I didn't feel like I was ready for such a tremendous leap. Now, I've had tremendous leaps in my life, but I didn't translate that to this tremendous leap, which I thought I wasn't qualified. I didn't think I had enough confidence, and I had a lot of limiting self-beliefs and self-sabotaging behaviors that it wasn't allowing me to level up. Fortunately, due to some like employees quitting and stuff like that, I actually slid up the chain of command quite fast, which helped me tremendously because, man, I didn't think that I was enough. I didn't think that I could do said job. And when I did it, it literally was a testimony of the confidence cycle. Action results more confidence. Through my journey of life, I actually understood that I wasn't the most disciplined, I wasn't the most driven, and I used to cut a lot of corners. And so when I leveled up to this manager spot, it only made those flaws that I have bigger. And what I mean by that is you could hide all you want, but the light will show at the end of the day all your flaws. And I had a lot of flaws due to me running away and being scared of success. Without that success that I got by becoming manager, I would have never understood how to actually lead a team. Because you could talk about it all day, but until you actually do it, you're just talking. And that's how I was. I would talk the talk, walk the walk, but I didn't have a lot of results to understand that a lot of the time it was me that was the problem. So it was actually really cool to grow in that way. My client did the same thing. He was scared to level up. So once we did a lot of deep, dark sessions and did a lot of mindset shifts, he was able to reframe his situation and then actually take accountability for all the things that he was letting slide by. And then it was at that point he leveled up. He didn't feel like he was ready, but sometimes with fear, you just have to do the thing while being fearful. Because once you do the thing, that's the action. And once you do the action, you will get the result. And once you get the result, you will get the confidence. So don't let the fear of success stop you from growing, because when you level up, you actually level up and you become a better version of yourself. Last but not least, the fear of judgment. Oh my gosh, that's something we could all crumble upon if we feel like we post some cringe content. You know, oh, my nose looks big. Oh, I might have had a booger in my nose and they saw it. Oh, I don't like the way my voice sounds. I was all that. I literally did not like to be on camera, nor did I like for people to look at me and have the chance to judge me. Now, this kind of encompasses all that I've been saying. Encompasses. I might be trying to do too much right now. I'm trying to drive, make this video, and not make up words. That is another flaw that your boy has right here, is that when I'm doing too much, I will just literally make up sentences. I'll make up words. Man, I was taking this one guy skydiving, and the parachute opened up, and we were talking about, compatibility and all this, and I was like, doesn't that make you compatibilitable and make you a better person? And he was like, yeah, it does. And a lot of times I just let it slide, but this time I couldn't. I was like, man, I just made that word up. And he's like, yeah, I felt like you did. I was like, don't let me slide, man. You gotta tell me when I'm making these things up. But it just goes to show that men can't multitask. No, so the fear of judgment. Becoming a trainer at Dream Body Fitness actually helped me out because I had to stand in front of a bunch of people and talk. Becoming manager at Bonnie Plants helped me out because I had to send a lot of emails out to people, and I also was put in the spotlight of a new manager, smaller station, less of a crew. So I was like the underdog. I like being the underdog. So with all those experiences, it helped me become a better person, and it helped me understand that people are going to say what they want to say. And you could do whatever you want to do, but guess what? People are still going to say what they want to say. So the fear of judgment goes away the same way you get more confidence. It's a confidence cycle. You need to do the action, get the result, and in return, you'll have more confidence. The fear of judgment is the lack of confidence that you have in yourself. So if you do the action, if you step on stage, you do the public speaking event, or you do the concert, or you do the stand-up comedy, as long as you do whatever you're fearful of, you're going to get the results. And if you care about it, you're going to do a good job, which means that's good results. If you do care about it and you don't do a good job, that's still awesome, because now you have the results on how you can improve. You don't lose by trying. You only lose by not trying. What did Wayne Gretzky say? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So don't miss your next shot. If you found any value in this video, please hit your boy with the subscribe. Shoot me a comment. That'd be awesome, so I can know what I would like to talk about, or know what you would like to talk about. And last but not least, fear less, live more. Catch y'all on the next episode.